So much for coming out tonight. As my sister and the ESD of ours, she actually brought us into this organization. I want to give it back to you and thank you for that. And thank you guys again for coming out tonight, even though you're not here. And we just really wanted to come out today to just express.
How y'all doing?
Express how this company has changed our life, right?
It has definitely changed our life. So I'm Shawn Crump. I'm a regional sales director with this company as well. And my beautiful wife and I, we just want to tell you about how this company has changed our lives. You know, again, giving it back to our executive sales director, our beautiful sister-in-law right here that brought us into the company. So let's see. You want to start with me since I was the first one to join? I can give it to you. Or you want to go first?
Go
Ladies
ahead.
first?
Go ahead.
Okay, all right. Well, anyway.
Oh yeah, so you will go first always then.
So, for myself, I have spent over 30 years in corporate America in in the information technology field. Was doing pretty well for myself, but I had reached a point where I was just not feeling satisfied. Wasn't feeling the value of sitting in meeting rooms and having the guy in the corner office get his big bonuses and all the rest of that stuff. I had reached a point where I just wasn't getting any fulfillment. I was, wasn't stuck in a dead-end job, but I was at a point where I just didn't feel like I was getting what I was putting into. And at that time, I developed a passion for just my community and being able to help spread financial literacy to my community. But anyway, last year in 2020, corporate America decided to let me know what they thought about me on Valentine's Day. Remember that? It was Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, they decided to tell me that, hey, you know what? We don't need your services anymore. So I sucked it up, and I decided not to tell my wife on that day. She never even knew.
I was so upset.
Until the next day, I said, I'm not going to tell her till the next day. I didn't want to mess up her Valentine's Day. I went and got her gifts and everything. But anyway, so here I am without a job in corporate America. And I talked to my sister-in-law. She came with a business opportunity. Tricia was like, hey, I want you to take a look at this. I want you to be able to join in and support. So that was life-changing for me. I went ahead and signed up. I took a look at things, and I began to see that the power of this company was just what I needed to move into doing things for myself. So some of the things about corporate America that I hated was I didn't have time freedom. And I wasn't able to go take my kids to the basketball games, or my mom had been sick and I wasn't able to take off time, had to ask for permission to take off time to spend with my sick mom. That was just not doing it for me. I was blessed to make 50 years old this year, and I just didn't feel like a 50-year-old should have to ask permission to go eat lunch. That was me. So anyway, I decided that I was going to take a look at this, and I started with this company, and I brought my beautiful wife and said, you know what, I need you to join the support. So, hey, look, you got a boo, you got a spouse, whatever, they should be your first customer. So hey, come on, you coming on with me, and she joined, and our trajectory in our life just changed at that point. We began to build a business. We began to help people across the country. We began to just set up our own family and things like that in terms of setting them up with the stability that they need. And I made a decision at the end of the year that I was not going to go back to corporate America. 6-figure job in corporate America, but I decided at that point, why would I waste the time trying to go back to corporate America to make 6 figures in a year when I could do that in a month with this company? That's the power of this company. So that's where I am. Also, from a credit perspective, my credit scores went up over 150 points, almost 200 points in the last year. So what did it do for you, baby?
Man, where do I start? So when I just think about me and my story, I've worked a number of jobs. He may not know, but my sister can definitely tell you the same. I kind of bounced from position to position. Good jobs, making good money, but I always felt like I was a boss, and I always wanted to go back and better myself because I felt like I should have had that office. I should have been in that office, right? A lot of times the management in my last position, he would come to me for things, and I would come home to my husband all the time saying, hey, something's wrong here. So I just never really fit in. Always felt like there was more for me. Mm-hmm. So I was actually working towards, meeting that goal, but I had bad credit. So that was my second problem. Mm-hmm. Bad credit, always being denied. I go in for a car, tell them I want this specific car here, and they say, well, you can have this car here. And if you pay this car note on time for 6 months to a year, you can come back. and then you can get what you want.
They be
Which
lying.
makes no sense because you're giving me what you want me to have,
Right.
and you want me to pay a car note on it. Doesn't make sense, but I got into a situation where, I went to one of those buy here, car here, pay places, and got a car that was a lemon. Had to give that car back, and this was years ago, but last year before last, right before COVID, I'm sitting at work and I get an email that comes through that basically tells me they're gonna start garnishing my check. So they were garnishing almost $200 every 2 weeks out of my check. And I let this happen for maybe 3 or 4 months before I said something's gotta give. Shawn, I think I'm going to go ahead and file bankruptcy. I felt like that was my only option, and it did help. It helped because I was able to they were able to stop taking those payments out of my check every 2 weeks, but at the same time, bankruptcy isn't credit repair, okay? So I wanna make sure that you guys understand that. Bankruptcy is not credit repair. We've been conditioned to think that when we file bankruptcy, we're gonna get a clean slate and we can start fresh, but that's not what happened. In my case, my score dropped 200 points after filing bankruptcy. So now I had a score of 447 and a bankruptcy now sitting on my credit. Everything else is gone, but the bankruptcy's there. So now I don't know what to do about the bankruptcy, and I have no idea how to get my score up from a 400 to what, right? My sister tells me, well, you know what? I have this opportunity. There's this program that you can get in. It'll build your score, and you'll be able to get the bankruptcy removed. So you would think that she had the answer to both of my problems, right? But it's all about mindset. I heard what she was saying, but
She listens. She ain't here. She listens.
I figured, well, let me just wait and see what's gonna happen, as if my score was gonna automatically go up on its own, right? So many of us live with bad credit, and then when we get ready to use it, it's too late. You need to do something about it now. So luckily, I was hard-headed, but my husband had actually taken a look at this information, talked to my sister, came back like he said, you're gonna go ahead and get enrolled. One of the best things he could have ever done for our family. My score increased within 45 days in the program. Went from a 447 to a 636, something like that. So yeah, 200 points. We've been able to do so much, guys. I've never, again, with the story of going into the car lot and being denied, I went in to test drive. Because again, being so used to walking in and them telling you no, I was conditioned. And a lot of us are. So my thought was, I'm gonna go test drive it and find out what I need to come back to get it. But because of this program, I test drove it. I came back in. My husband and son were with me. They'll tell you these are facts. I came back in. He said, what do you think about the car? I said, I like it. He said, do you want it? I said, yes. He said, well, let's run the numbers. 10 minutes later, he came back and said, these are your options. You can pay this every month, or this every month. And what are you saying? Like, that doesn't, are you saying that this car is mine? And he's like, yeah, we're cleaning it up right now for you if you want it.
Never even asked for a check stub. They never even asked for a check stub.
What was your score when you went in,
My score was, I think it was like a 680, 682 or something like that.
They didn't even ask you.
They didn't even
So,
ask.
So did they ask you how much you made?
They asked how much she made. They asked her for a
He
job.
talked about, he totaled what I made a year
Right.
at the company that I was working for and what we made
And
with the
from a
company.
business perspective. So I told them we make about X amount from the business. We added those two numbers together. They said, okay,
They
cool.
did verify my employment at the company.
Okay.
I guess all of that ironed out. And with this, and that was that. But I was able to walk out of the dealership with a Range Rover, something
Yes,
that
a Range
I knew
Rover.
that I was gonna get it, but I saw it so far down the road for me. I didn't think that was gonna happen that soon, and it would not have happened if I had not got started with this program. So if you're looking to get a new car, get a new home, this is the program for you. You guys need to really listen to some of the other testimonials that we have here tonight and get started.
All right, we the Crumps. Thank y'all very much.